They say the truth comes out, but no one expected it to come out like this. A male sex worker has just come forward with a story so disturbing. It reads like a page straight out of the federal indictment against P. Diddy. But here's the part that's blowing everyone's mind. During the alleged assault, Diddy didn't just threaten him. He brought up Tupac, and what Diddy allegedly said could change everything we thought we knew about that murder. At this point, it feels like every week there's another accusation thrown at Diddy. More lawsuits, more disturbing details. But this time, it's different. It isn't just about wild parties, secret rooms, and drug-filled halls. It's about someone who says they lived through exactly what federal prosecutors claim Diddy been doing for decades, and they say they have proof. On top of that, Diddy's alleged Tupac comment might be the most chilling piece of puzzle yet. It's one thing to face accusation of sexual assault, it's another to have those accusations mirror the exact language federal prosecutors used when they laid out Diddy's alleged crimes. This anonymous sex worker, identified only as John Doe, is saying his experience lines up perfectly with the Fed's case against Diddy. That alone will be shocking enough, but when you add in Diddy's alleged referencing Tupac during the assault, it opened up a whole new can of worms. What's real, what's rumor, and why does Diddy past keep coming back to haunt him in the ugliest way imaginably? Let's break this down, because the details are almost too wild to believe, but they fit into a pattern we've been hearing for months. John Doe says he was contacted to meet Diddy at a hotel in New York City back in 2012. Nothing too unusual for someone in his line of work. What made it weird, though, was how fast things escalated once he got there. According to the lawsuit, Diddy wasn't alone. There was a woman with him. Do you think it was his girlfriend? Maybe not, but she wasn't named. From the moment John Doe stepped into the room, things got intense. Clothes came off almost immediately, and Diddy allegedly forced John Doe to perform sex action on the woman for hours. That alone sounds extreme, but it gets darker. At some point, Diddy allegedly brought out baby oil. Now, if you've been following the lawsuits and the federal indictment, you already know baby oil has come up a lot. Multiple accusers have mentioned it. Prosecutors even pointed it out as one of Diddy's signatures. John Doe says things got blurry after he felt drugged, disoriented. He remembered flashes of Diddy forcing himself on him, sodomizing him. It's the kind of assault story that's horrible on its own, but then came the moment that made everything even worse. John Doe says Diddy leaned in close and said something he will never forget. If I can get Pac here, what do you think can happen to you? What? Diddy didn't just threaten him. He allegedly tied that threat to the murder of Tupac Shakur, one of the biggest unsolved murders in the hip-hop industry. Oh, come on, look at this. This way things get chilling. Diddy's name has been whispered in connection to Tupac's death for decades. Whispers, rumors, conspiracy theories, but no solid proof, no formal charges, nothing that's ever stuck. And Diddy himself has always denied having anything to do with it. But this, if Joe's account is true, is the first time someone claims Diddy himself admitted to having a hand in Tupac's murder. Not just some random theory, an alleged confession during an assault, but directly from Diddy's mouth. Wow. Now let's zoom out a bit. Federal prosecutors have painted Diddy as the mastermind of a sex trafficking ring, someone who uses power, money, and connection to exploit vulnerable people for years. They say he used drugs, threats, and violence to control his victims. It sounds familiar, right? Joe's stories, the drugs, the forced sex act, the threats fit that pattern exactly. If his story holds up, it's not just another lawsuit. It could be evidence in the federal case. John Doe's lawyer has already said he's willing to sit down with the prosecutors, not just to tell his story, but to testify if they need him. That's really, really huge. Because here's the thing, Building a case like this isn't easy. Prosecutors need patterns, consistent details across multiple victims. If John Doe's story lines up with the accusers, I don't think Diddy is going to save the case. At this point, it feels like we are watching Diddy's empire crumble in real time. Since the feds raided his homes and unsealed their indictments, the floodgate had opened. Lawsuit after lawsuit, woman after woman, now a man, all describing the same things: drugs, baby oil, violence, threats, cover-ups. You should be wondering, if even half of these stories are true, how did Diddy get away with it for so long? Some people think it's because of his money and power. Others say it's because the entertainment industry is built on silence. People know things, but they don't say anything because the people at the top protect each other. But the Tupac angle, that takes a whole different level. Because if Diddy really did have anything to do with Tupac's mother, and if he's been using that mother to threaten his victims ever since, it changes everything. We are not just talking about sex trafficking and assault anymore. We are talking about murder. That's why this lawsuit and that one chilling quote could be the most important development in the entire case against Diddy. If I could get Pac hit, what do you think can happen to you? That one line connects the present to the past, the sex trafficking allegations to the murder of a rape icon. And if prosecutors decide to dig into that, if they find even a shred of evidence to Tupac's murder, it's game over. Not just for Diddy's career, not just for his freedom, for his entire legacy. Right now, Diddy's team is denying everything. The assault, the threats, all of it. They are saying John Doe is lying, just like they've said about every accuser so far. But here's the thing, they can't just fight every lawsuit at once. They can't fight the feds and all these accusers forever. At some point, something is gonna break. And if John Doe's stories hold up, if prosecutors believe him, if other victims back him up, Diddy might not just lose his freedom, he might lose everything. Because at the end of the day, it's not just about the lawsuit, it's about the truth, and whether the truth is finally catching up to him. Don't miss the next episode of Keeping Up with Diddy's Case. Subscribe now to see how deep this rabbit hole really goes. Thank you for watching.